Millions of Americans buy guns every year. They think they are getting quality. They get home, they pull the trigger. Nothing works. The gun fails, the gun breaks, they return it. Some guns get returned so often that stores laugh when people bring them in. These are the firearms Americans hate the most. This countdown reveals 10 guns that fail so badly they end up back in boxes. These are the most returned guns in America right now. Number 10. Phoenix Arms HP22A. The Phoenix Arms HP22A is an ultra-cheap handgun. Early versions were poorly designed. The gun cost less than $150 when it first came out. That price should have been a warning sign. The design was cheap. The materials were cheap. The build quality was cheap. This is what happens when manufacturers prioritize profit over function. Shooters bought these guns expecting reliability. They got the opposite. The HP22A had serious design problems. The gun had too many safeties. A manual safety and magazine disconnect worked against each other. They interfered with each other. The safeties got in the way of normal operation. The gun was difficult to shoot. The overcomplicated safety system caused failures. Shooters could not operate the gun smoothly. The safeties prevented the gun from firing when they should have been disengaged. This is backwards. A self-defense gun should work when you need it to work. The HP22A made that nearly impossible. Early versions failed basic reliability standards. Production eventually stopped, but the reputation was already destroyed. Ultra-budget does not mean safe. People who wanted cheap guns got what they paid for. A cheap gun that does not work is worthless, worse than worthless. It is unreliable. People return them by the thousands. The HP22A taught buyers a lesson. You cannot ignore quality for price. Some guns should not exist. This was one of them. Production stopped. The damage was done. People remember the HP22A as the gun that should never have been made. Number 9. Kel-Tec PF9. The Kel-Tec PF9 is a budget pocket pistol. It is small, it is light, it is cheap. Those are the only good things about it. Everything else is a problem. This gun has ruined the reputation of Kel-Tec among serious shooters. The PF9 has a long reputation for quality control issues. Some guns work fine, others do not. It is literally a gamble. You do not know what you are getting. This is unacceptable for a self-defense firearm. You cannot gamble with your safety. Shooters report rough build quality. The parts feel cheap. The fit is loose. Some guns have feeding failures. Others have extraction failures. The gun jams, the gun stovepipes. The gun fails to fire. These are not rare incidents. They are common. Most owners report at least one malfunction. The rough machining is obvious when you hold the gun. Burrs stick out. Sharp edges cut your hand. The manufacturing tolerances are terrible. One gun might be fine. The next one might be unusable. This is what happens when companies prioritize price over quality control. Kel-Tec has been making pocket guns for decades. They have had years to fix these problems. They have not. The PF9 remains a budget gun with budget problems. Police departments will not carry it. Serious shooters will not carry it. People who need real protection should not carry it. Yet people do because it costs almost nothing. This is a tragedy. Number 8. Diamondback DB9. The Diamondback DB9 is a small pistol that looks tactical. The appearance is the only good thing about it. Everything else fails. The gun is unreliable. The gun is uncomfortable. The gun is a bad choice for self-defense. People who bought it quickly learn to regret the purchase. The DB9 has serious feeding problems. The gun does not like ammunition. Standard ammunition does not work properly. Expensive ammunition sometimes works. This is backwards. A self-defense gun should work with standard ammunition every single time. It should work with cheap ammunition. It should work with expensive ammunition. The DB9 is picky. The recoil is harsh. The gun is small and light. Physics says small, light guns recoil hard. The DB9 recoils so much that shooting it is unpleasant, painful even. People do not practice with guns that hurt to shoot. People who do not practice cannot hit targets in emergencies. This is a self-defense problem. A gun you avoid shooting is useless. Early buyers were attracted to the low price. Prices were extremely competitive. Once they took the gun home, they regretted it. The gun shot poorly. The gun felt cheap. The gun looked cool but performed worse than cheap. Returns were common. Negative reviews flooded the internet. Most reviews gave it 1 or 2 stars. Diamondback tried to fix problems. They never succeeded. The DB9 remains a cautionary tale. Cheap does not mean good. Good costs money. If you cannot afford good, you should not buy cheap. Better to save money and buy one quality gun than buy several cheap guns. Number 7. Remington RP9. The Remington RP9 looks like a modern tactical pistol. It has aggressive styling. It has sharp edges. It looks like a real gun for serious people. Appearance is where the quality ends. This is a lesson in why you cannot judge a gun by its cover. The RP9 has severe feeding issues. These are not occasional problems. These are regular failures. The gun jams with multiple ammunition types, different brands, different weights, different powders. The gun does not like most ammunition. This is a manufacturing problem, not a user problem. Reviewers tested the RP9 extensively. The gun failed repeatedly. Some reviews called it unreliable. Other reviews were harsher. The gun simply does not work. Remington built a gun that looks professional but performs poorly. This is worse than building a gun that looks cheap and works. Appearance matters, but function matters more. The gun was supposed to be a practical choice for shooters. It could not deliver. Better guns existed at the same price. Better guns existed at lower prices. There was no reason to buy an RP9 except for the tactical appearance. Appearance does not stop bullets. Appearance does not protect you. A gun must work first. Everything else is secondary. Remington tried to market the RP9 aggressively. They could not overcome the reputation for failures. Serious shooters tested it. They rejected it. The gun is still available, but few people buy it. The reputation is permanent. Number 6. Smith & Wesson Bodyguard .380. The Smith & Wesson Bodyguard .380 was a tiny pocket pistol. It was marketed as a self-defense gun for people who want something they can carry easily. The marketing was misleading. The original gun was unreliable. Early versions had serious problems. This gun earned a reputation for failure. The original Bodyguard had frequent feeding failures. This was a design problem, not a user problem. The gun did not feed ammunition reliably. Different shooters reported the same problem. Different ammunition types produced the same problem. The fault lay with the gun, not the shooter. Light primer strikes were common in early versions. The firing pin hit the primer but not hard enough. The primer did not ignite. The gun failed to fire. In a self-defense situation, this is fatal. You need your gun to work. The original Bodyguard did not. A gun that fails to fire is worse than no gun at all. Shooters who bought the gun expecting reliable protection got nothing. They returned it. They bought different guns. They complained online. The reputation for unreliability was well earned. Hundreds of reviews detailed the same problems. Most owners reported failures. Smith & Wesson built other great guns. They made mistakes with the original Bodyguard. The company eventually released an improved 2.0 version with a different internal design. The newer version addressed many of the original problems, but the original version's reputation remained damaged. Once a gun gets a reputation for failure, that reputation sticks. Number 5. Colt All American 2000. The Colt All American 2000 was supposed to be revolutionary. The gun used a rotary barrel concept. The trigger system was unusual. The design came from famous designers, including Eugene Stoner. The pedigree meant nothing. Famous names do not guarantee quality. The gun performed worse than basic competitors. Accuracy complaints were common. Reliability problems were widespread. The gun just did not work well. A gun designed by legendary names but built with less attention to quality than competitors was always going to fail. Design is only part of the equation. Colt issued a recall over drop-fire safety defects. The gun could fire if dropped. This is unacceptable. Guns should never fire unless you pull the trigger. Drop safety is basic. Colt failed at this basic requirement. This was a catastrophic failure for a major manufacturer. Professional reviews called it embarrassing. Rick Sapp called it one of the most embarrassing product failures in company history. That quote endured because it was true. A gun with prestigious design names failed because of poor execution. The gap between the design and the final product was massive. Poor quality control destroyed what could have been a great gun. Shooters who wanted an innovative pistol got a disappointment. The gun cost more than competitors but performed worse. There was no reason to buy it. The All American 2000 proves that famous names mean nothing if the gun does not work. Remington learned this with the R51. Colt learned it with the All American. Number 4. Remington Model 887. The Remington Model 887 shotgun is not a pistol, but it belongs on this list because of safety issues. The gun had a serious recall. The recall dealt with potential slam fire issues. A slam fire is one of the worst things that can happen with a shotgun. Slam fire means the gun fires when you do not want it to fire. The firing mechanism malfunctions. The gun shoots when you operate the pump action. This is dangerous for the shooter and dangerous for people nearby. An unexpected shotgun blast can kill or permanently disable. Shotguns are powerful. Unexpected discharge from a shotgun is extremely dangerous. The recall required inspection. Many guns had to be returned. Remington arranged a return program. Safety was too important to ignore. The company took action quickly. A slam fire safety recall is the worst kind of recall. It means something goes wrong in the basic operation. People bought the gun for hunting or home defense. They could not trust it. Returns were immediate. Shooters did not want a gun that might fire on its own. The safety issue was too serious. The Model 887 has since been improved. Remington fixed the problems, but the recall damage was permanent. People remember unsafe guns. They do not forget. Once a gun gets a reputation for safety problems, that reputation sticks. Hunters move to other brands. Number 3. Taurus Millennium Series. The Taurus Millennium Series includes the PT111 and PT140. These guns became infamous. Taurus faced major lawsuits. The lawsuits alleged that the guns could fire when dropped. This allegation destroyed the brand reputation. A gun firing when dropped is the worst failure. Self-defense guns are kept in vehicles. They are carried on belts. They are stored in nightstands. Dropping happens. Accidents happen. The gun should not fire from drops. This is basic engineering. Allegations claimed the gun could discharge unintentionally. Large numbers of guns were recalled. A major settlement was reached. Taurus agreed to replace guns. The company offered buyback programs. The guns were considered too dangerous to keep in circulation. Shooters who owned these guns faced a choice: send back the gun and get a different model, keep the gun and hope it did not have the defect. Many sent them back. The issue was too serious. Trust was broken. People did not believe these guns were safe. Fear overwhelmed any brand loyalty. The Millennium Series recall is one of the biggest in firearms history. It affected large numbers of pistols. Hundreds of thousands returned. The impact on Taurus' reputation was permanent. Even today, people avoid Taurus guns because of the Millennium recall. The brand has never fully recovered from this disaster. Number 2. Sig Sauer P320. The Sig Sauer P320 is one of the most popular pistols in America. Millions have been sold. The gun is used by military. It is used by police. It is used by millions of civilians. Yet the P320 has one of the biggest controversies in modern firearms history. More than 100 lawsuits have been filed. The allegations are serious. The gun allegedly fires without trigger input. Unintentional discharge without touching the trigger is the nightmare scenario. Police officers have reported incidents. Army investigations have documented concerns. Military testing found problems. An airman at an Air Force base was fatally shot. Initial reports suggested his M18 discharged unintentionally. The U.S. Air Force Global Strike Command paused use of the weapon. Multiple agencies investigated. Multiple law enforcement departments pulled the P320 from use. The controversy spread across the country. A Philadelphia jury awarded $11 million to an injured victim. The jury concluded the P320 was defectively designed. Courts have found evidence of design flaws. Agencies have documented the potential for unintended discharge. New Jersey filed a state lawsuit against Sig Sauer. The state claims the manufacturer knowingly sold defective guns. Sig Sauer claims the gun is safe. The company states the P320 cannot fire without a trigger pull. Courts have disagreed. Victims have disagreed. Multiple agencies have disagreed. The controversy has destroyed trust in the platform. The ongoing litigation and agency concerns have created lasting doubt about the P320's safety. Number 1. Remington R51. The Remington R51 is the king of returned guns. The R51 was supposed to resurrect a classic design. Remington based it on the original Model 51 from the 1920s. The original was excellent. The new one was a disaster. Remington announced the R51 in late 2013. The gun was released in January 2014. Immediately, problems appeared. The gun had massive feeding failures. The gun had extraction failures. The gun sometimes fired out of battery. This means the gun fired before the action was fully closed. This is extremely dangerous. At a press event at Gunsight Academy, reviewers found the gun broken. Multiple samples were provided. Most of the samples malfunctioned. Reviewers called it a disaster. One review called the first 200 rounds a disgrace. Feeding problems, extraction problems, stovepipes, magazine failures. The gun was broken in every way. One shooter reported the gun fired without him pressing the trigger or depressing the grip safety. The gun allegedly discharged when he was loading it. This is an unintentional discharge. This is a safety failure. Remington issued a product replacement program. The company promised to fix the problems. Customers could get refunds. Customers could get repairs. Customers could get replacement guns. Remington expected to resume production in October 2014. It did not happen. The company went back to engineering. Problems were deeper than expected. Tolerances were wrong. Magazine design was flawed. The internal mechanism had issues. It took years to redesign. Customers who wanted their guns back waited over a year. Some customers never received replacement guns. In 2016, Remington released the Gen 2 R51. The gun was better, but nobody cared anymore. The market had moved on. Smith & Wesson shields and Glocks had dominated the single-stack market. The R51 reputation was destroyed. Nobody trusted it. The brand damage was permanent. The R51 is the textbook example of a gun released too early. The design was clever. The execution was terrible. Customers got hurt. Remington got hurt. The brand suffered permanent damage. This gun cost Remington millions in recalls and settlements. The company learned a hard lesson about rushing products to market. 10 guns. Each one failed. Each one got returned. Each one damaged trust. From the ultra-cheap Phoenix Arms to the prestigious Remington R51, quality matters. Appearance does not matter. Price does not matter. Performance matters. A gun must work. It must be reliable. It must be safe. It must be tested before release. These 10 guns failed at one or more of these basic requirements. They are the guns America rejected. They are the guns people brought back to stores demanding refunds or replacements. Buy guns from manufacturers who care. Buy guns that work. Buy guns that will save your life. Do not buy these.